Okay, let's go over some things before you get started or before you sign up with Native Camp as an instructor. Or if you have just signed up. These are really important factors that you really need to know. Um, and if you don't pay attention to this website, it's so well built. It is amazing. Everything is in here, okay? Let's go over some things. This is the guidelines tab on the first page of your thing, guidelines, okay? So, this is really important. It has a video that you can watch. And let me blow that up here. And it has some other stuff that, you need to know. Do watch any video that's on this website. It's really beneficial, and it keeps you from having to ask other people questions because it's all here. All you have to do is pay attention to it and your emails. When you're teaching a class, make sure your phone ringer is off. Make sure you have a plain background. They don't want to see anything, especially when they do your interview. They don't want to see a bunch of junk behind you. And let me tell you the best way to solve that. You can take and go to Walmart and you can get a $15 clothing rack. Put it together. Go to dollar store and get a $1 plain shower curtain and $1 a shower curtain rings and hang it up right behind you. That will help a lot. Unless you can face the computer towards a wall or something plain. They really prefer it's all plain. So I do my classes in my office. So anyway, the phone ringer needs to be off before you start your class. Do not let that phone be ringing and banging around and while you're trying to teach the class, because it's a total insult to these people, especially the Japanese, if things are going on during their class time that they're paying for. They're paying you by the minute, they're paying you by the second, so you should be there for them. And they're very quick learners, so every second counts. Plain background. Load the Native Camp Teacher app at Play Store to your mobile phone. Rule 1, and sign into that with the same stuff you got for the website. The app runs so much better than the website, actually. This past week's been tough because the website's been acting up and they've been servicing it in the last 24 hours. And so classes get canceled and all that stuff. But pay attention to your emails. Pay attention to the messages on the site. They put messages right at the beginning as soon as you clock in. Read them all. If you have any inquiry messages or anything like that, look on your tabs on the website. But I will tell you that teacher app is super hot, excellent for watching your classes so you don't have to sit on the computer. And you can see your bookings and everything, and you can book classes from that app. Watch all your emails and website messages every day. Do your intro video ASAP. I've heard of teachers being terminated because after 7 days they still didn't have their intro video. So be very careful. You better get that intro video up. And do it, with plain background. Do it, you can do that without your headphones. You don't have to use your headphones. But you can do it with your headphones if you want on. But you have to have headphones on during the classes. Don't ever take them off. And headphones, you want to get, really the best bet is to get some cordless headphones. And otherwise, just start with $25 headphones. At Walmart, they're the cheapest in the noise canceling. You want to get noise canceling headphones. That right off the top must be noise canceling headphones. That will help you so much. If there's anything going on in the background, it will kill a lot of that and hopefully all of that. But noise canceling is priority 1. It plugs into your computer. And if you can afford to go ahead and get the cordless ones, do it and make sure they're charged for your classes. And then set up your Payoneer account right away. They have a link you can click on where you don't have to go on a separate tab or anything to open it up. Just use their link because everything's preloaded in there. And it tells you what to select and all that stuff. So you don't have to pick stuff out. It's already preloaded on your page on Native Camp. Click the link. Go do it. And it just takes, hours to get that set up. And the Payoneer, all it does is move money to your account. Make sure it's a brick and mortar account. Do not use PayPal. They will terminate your PayPal account if you use PayPal with the Payoneer. PayPal hates Payoneer. And then you can't use your Bluebird card, American Express. It's not there. They have a list of banks that are acceptable on there. You click the one that is yours and enter your account information, the account and routing number. But they're going to send you emails, to verify your email, all that stuff. And it's real quick and clean. And I guarantee you should have your Payoneer up in 48 hours or less. It might be just a couple hours. For me, it was only a couple hours. Have a black marker and plain paper. That can be, just Xerox paper, whatever works for you. Xerox paper is probably the cheapest way to fly. And a big black marker. So if you have to draw anything during class or anything, you can do that and use it right away, but have it at your reach. You don't get up during the class to do stuff. You sit right there looking at them eye to eye, okay? Because it's very rude if you do anything during the class to the Oriental. So, have all your stuff at arm's length. If you are a girl, I highly suggest you wear lipstick. Especially a dark color or, a red, because they actually follow your lips. Remember, these are people learning the English language. So they're reading your lips and they're hearing you. So make your pronunciation really clear, and so that they can, pick it up, because they're really quick. They're very, very quick at picking this up. They're highly intelligent people. Your majority of your people are, Orientals. You can be teaching, island people, whatever. Anybody that comes to the site wants to learn English. It could be anybody, but majority of them are from Japan. So they want to see how your lips move when you pronounce the word. They are watching you. Do not block your lips with the mic on your headset, okay? Make sure your lips are visible. Open your schedule as far in advance as you can. And you go to the scheduling page. And that's on the site here. Let's see. Let me move this down. There it is. Okay, schedules. Okay, this is high traffic, red. Blue is slow. See all that red? Here's a yellow over here. There's some blue here. But these are all really big time ready. Okay? This is system maintenance. This is going to be blocked down. So if you already had classes scheduled or something like that, they'll be knocked out of there. They'll send you an email about that, and they will correct anything. If a student tries to report you for not doing a class or whatever, or they'll fix all that for you. And do keep an eye on it. But you click your button, the on-off, for your classes. Okay? And that's how you book your classes. See, right now, it is 10:22 a.m. in Florida, USA. There's class available right now, 11 a.m. Okay? Do not hit the standby button, or you'll get the on-call classes, which are like $3 a class. Right now they do have a little bonus for that, but still, it's the highest paying class is the book classes. This is book classes right here. These are booked. So you turn these on so that they can book, and you'll be notified. Keep an eye on it, and like I say, the app runs way better than the website. I found the website hesitates, and the app runs to the T, and you can refresh on the app constantly. So, and it'll shut off about 10 minutes, usually about 10 minutes before the class is supposed to start. That if you sign up for this block right here, and nobody signs up, makes reservations with you, then it'll close it out. It'll say closed, like that. Okay. So there's your scheduling. Now, and make sure that you understand, because you only have 5 minutes between each class, make sure that you understand that if you hit all these, you better be ready for them. Straight through. That means no breaks, no nothing. Because you really need that 5 minutes between classes to check on the student's info, the textbook, whatever. So do pay attention. They got system maintenance on Sunday, on January 9th, from 11 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. Okay? And you can work this job 24 hours, so there it is. 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it's probably the only job you can work if you have corona. You can still work. Okay, so do not cancel classes less than 25 hours in advance. They say 24, but I would give it 25. Or they will bill you. So don't do that, because they're going to take it out of your pay. Just like if a student cancels your class, they're taking it out of their payment plan. When sending simple messages to native corporate, use the inquiry. Okay, which you have to roll this down to find that. See, inquiry is over here. Okay. Now they're going to have chatbot. You can pick some stuff for your question. It'll answer it rapidly. You can close that out, and you can select your category, a lesson, textbooks, about the student, if you're reporting a student, about teacher's information, about compensation, that's your pay, and any other question. And then you will type that in and make it really simple. These are very proper people. Don't be mean. Don't be nasty, and spell good. You know, your computer should have spell correct. Use periods and capitals. Make it really simple. Only a few lines. That's all you need. And because otherwise they're going to think you're being a jerk, and they're going to dump you. So just make it simple. And then, you know, hit go, and there you go. And they'll answer you. Okay? They will answer you. I've got one here where I sent all my badges. And they responded. Now remember that and this is based out of Japan, this site, so their day is different than ours. So like right now it's nighttime where they're at. Matter of fact, here it is right here. Okay. Right here. Current time in your time zone, 10:26 a.m. It is January 7th. Okay, they are a day ahead. January 8th. It's Saturday, 1:26 in the morning. Okay. Now, that gives you your first clue. Make sure to set your time zone. Super important. And your browser right off the top. Okay. Now, but be short and sweet and be proper when you're sending that message, because you will make them mad. The website is set up so well, it's beyond belief. I don't think I've ever been through another website that's as good as this. They've got the guidelines, dashboard, message, students info. So when you get a class, let me see if I can move this a little bit. So when you get a class, you can check your students' info. Okay, it'll tell you their bio and stuff. The textbook will come up. That'll be the textbook that you're using. Okay. Learning kit for teachers. This is for your badges. Watch every video on here. Any video on this website, watch it. Here's one over here for what they call the sudden lesson, which is, to me, is the on-call or on-the-spot lesson. Booked lesson is a reserved lesson, okay? So, let me see, I can get you in there tighter. Okay, there we go. Okay, and so watch these videos. Okay, they have it on both. All these other videos, watch all of this stuff. It tells you all about it. Okay, and watch as many of these. These are for your badges. Watch as many of these as you can, because the more badges you have, the more the student will click on this. Say, oh, this person is very certified. This is the one I want to teach me. Okay, now, if you know, this takes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours for each one. It seems like forever, okay, on these. And so, the thing about that is it takes a lot of time and you have to really pay attention and you really don't want to skip through the videos. There's a test after. Make sure you sign into your Google account. But these are so important, and it's live teaching that you get to watch. They're not just telling you a bunch of stuff. It's actually live teaching. And pay attention to all the points and clues they give you because they're ultimately important. Okay? I'm not kidding you. Let's see. Start at your number 1 badge. And if there's any of these that you think is just too much for you or you don't want to teach, because you've got 1 through 30. Okay, but do pay attention to all this stuff too. But try to get at least 1 badge a day. If you can sit and do a bunch of them, go ahead. But I'm going to tell you, if you are taking that class, okay, for that free conversation, you know, which is just talking, just visiting with somebody. They direct the conversation. You don't. And then you pick up their grammar errors and you type them in your little box. That way they can go back and reference to it of things they need to work on. But you don't tell them it's wrong. Just try to get them to repeat it a few more times. If they're still having trouble, go ahead and document it in your text box. But you watch that, and if you decide that it's just not the kind of stuff you want to teach, do not take the test and get certified for it. Because it's going in your bio, and the student says, oh, they're certified for free conversation. Let me sign up. If it's not certified for free conversation, then they know not to sign up with you, if that's what they want. And you probably want to teach it. But there are times where you get sent classes, especially as a new instructor, because they doll your bio up. And so that makes the students come. Plus, they have a special where they get like 2 free classes to start. So they throw them on the new teachers. That way you get work. Okay? And so that's how it's done. But do not take the test for any course that you really don't want to teach. Okay? Badges are only recorded if you sign into your Google account. When you get ready to take the test, it's going to say, please sign into your Google account. Make sure you're ready to enter the password and all that stuff. Okay? Make sure that's ready so you don't have to go look for it. And then go ahead and take your test. It's recorded on Google, and that's how they reference to it to prove that you took the test and that you passed. You got to pass 100% to get the badge. So they'll let you retake the test right there. If you miss something, they'll let you retake it right there. I don't know how many times you can retake it, but you can do it several times. I do know that. I did one the other day 3 times. It worked, so And then the administration can verify, your test. They'll usually get it done. Remember, they're a day ahead of us, and their hours are different than us in the USA. So if you're located in the USA and you're not in the Orient or the islands, then, you have to understand their working hours, because, website administration is probably not going to work but 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Although many Orientals work all different kinds of hours, and they do work 7 days a week and nothing less than 40 hours a week. That's what they do. They love to work. But about 48 hours, and then they'll post it to your bio on your badges. After 4 days, you may send an inquiry with your badge and your teacher name and number. A very simple, short and sweet inquiry. And they will answer you, just to make sure you were awarded those badges. Again, watch any video about anything on this site. Period. I'm telling you, it's so important. There's so many things you learn. The site is set up better than I've seen any kind of working site on the internet. It's incredible how well this website's set up. The schedule runs better on the phone app. It's in the App Store. It's free. Get the Native Camp Teachers app. Put it on your phone. Okay? Work at least $35 worth of payroll by the 10th and the 25th, because they're going to send that payroll out, because they'll terminate you. And if you don't work at least $35, they're not going to pay you. So you have to have at least $35 on your account for them to pay you. Work at least $35 a month to stay on this job, because they will terminate you. They just shut your stuff off. You can't log in or anything else. So pay attention. They're not here to play around. They're real serious. They have over 500,000 students right now. And they do not have 500,000 instructors. Okay? You don't have to be, teacher certified, have college degrees in it. It's a plus if you do. You don't have to have previous experience teaching online with any of the other sites. This site is one of the easier ones to work for. I will tell you that much. Some of them are a little bit, higher pay, but they're much harder to work for. Many students are Japanese. Some teachers do take classes, so beware. But many students are Japanese that you'll have. Be very careful not to offend them. You don't want to play on your phone. Do pay attention to them at all times. Don't interrupt them. Whatever you do, please don't interrupt them. Let them talk. If you cough, sneeze, yawn, that's a total insult, and do apologize for it. But they will start downgrading your rating big time. So make sure to get some sleep. Don't laugh at their answers. That's a huge insult. And no personal questions at all. Okay? Be very, very careful. It's a violation of the site if you do that. No slang, no cussing, no eating or drinking while you're teaching. Make sure to never take your headphones off during a class. That's a big, bad no-no. Watch for system repairs on the schedule. Any canceled or dropped classes, the administration will fix. Keep a daily log of your classes. Okay, get a little notebook. And, for $1 at dollar store. And, write your daily log down. Classes you scheduled, and if they were reserved, and, the name of your student, the time of the class, the date of the class, what type of class. That way, if you have any payroll problems, you can go back on that. That way you can see if you've taught that student, before, a lot of times and stuff. A lot of this will be on the website, but do keep your own log. Never trust anybody. And that's even at a regular job. Keep a log. Okay? It only takes a moment to note these things down in that log so you can, research it, and you can see your hours and pay right there and check it with your pay and everything because you have a written log. You are an independent contractor. You are liable for your own taxes. Okay? So, you need to talk with your CPA. I'm not a CPA, but you can chat with your CPA about how you need to do your taxes on this. Wherever you're located in the world. Mostly in the USA, you can do your taxes quarterly or you can do it yearly. It just depends how you like to do it. Their pay varies according to where you reside. I do know that the USA is the top pay. Foreign countries get a much lower pay. And then payroll, the native charges a small fee called tax. I don't know why they call it tax, but it's just a small fee for using their site. It's just like anything else, just like YouTube, where you pay a portion of your intake to YouTube because you're using their site. Just like if you sell on Amazon or something, you're going to pay a cut to them. If you use PayPal, you're going to pay a cut to them. You've got to pay these people for their services. This stuff's not free. Okay? So, yeah, that's what it is. It's just like DoorDash, where they add a little bit extra to the delivery, charges to the customer because it's a website that's being run by people. People have paychecks in order to run that site so they can get people to come to work. So the money has to go somewhere. The stuff isn't free. You don't just start a website and make a business and not make any money doing it and get employees that run the back end of the website for free. It doesn't happen that way. All items for work are tax deductible in the USA, okay? Your internet, your supplies, your tools, your equipment. That means if you decide you want to buy a desk, you want to buy a computer, you want to buy your headphones, paper, pen, all these things you need to keep track of because you're going to need those for your taxes to do your itemized tax, okay? For the cost of your supplies. These are tax deductions. It's for work. So do keep track of that. Put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in a shoebox. That way the light doesn't destroy the receipts and the moisture doesn't destroy the receipts. I'm in Florida, so water is in the air, okay? We are saltwater based. We are moisture. We are tropical. And make sure to see, a CPA. I'm not talking about these places where you go and they hijack, the first part of your taxes for, your refund. And scam you for $300. You go to a real CPA. They're very reasonable. They know their stuff. They're recertified every single year for all the updates. And you have this stuff in order in a shoebox. And if you can put it in order by date is even better. And then you hand this to them and say, okay, these are my costs to work. It's just like any other job that you're doing. These are tax deductions. You can really save yourself so much if you will file on these independent deductions. If you're scared to do your first class, do a sudden class. It's usually a free talk class anyway. Okay? The class is 25 minutes. That's it. 25 minutes. Use your text box when you're teaching. You have a little text box there where you can send little messages. It's just like, Facebook or any of this other stuff where you send little messages to people. Even YouTube, you send little messages to make comments or when they're doing a live. It's a little text box. Use it when teaching. Make sure your spelling is correct. It does have spell correct, so do make sure you type it properly before you hit go. And you can copy and paste the answers that the student has given off of the paperwork in your lesson on the computer and, attach it right there on the text box, okay, as you're going along. And that's for your students' answers to quizzes and problem pronunciation. You don't want to tell them that's wrong. Just key that in, you know, the proper spelling and pronunciation of whatever they're having trouble with, and hit send. So it's on there. That way they can go back and reference. It helps them. It also proves you taught the class. Orientals do have trouble with R and L. It's just a thing, okay? My mom taught me that when I was probably 4 years old. She's like, they can't say R or L. So please speak slow so they can learn the pronunciation. It won't be perfect, but they will be very close. And sometimes they're going to repeat when you say, okay, you know, please repeat this after me. You know, sometimes they're going to repeat you word for word instead of after you've said it. That's how fast thinking they are. I mean, their brains are like computers, are just ultra fast. Do not be offended. Do not tell them to stop it. Just carry on, because some are extremely overly intelligent. And, you know, you'll be saying a sentence and they're repeating every single word before you finished. Don't tell them stop. They're just super smart. Let them roll. It may confuse you, but just try to, you know, keep moving and grooving. It's just something they do when they're super, super intelligent. Their mind is thinking so much faster than yours, okay? So, you know, the Orientals are very educated, very hardworking. They're extremely intelligent. They need you to teach them. They catch on very, very quickly, okay? It's amazing. I mean, some of these students, it's like, whoa, it's like, are you pranking me in my class because you speak really good English? You know, it's really important to them. This is an iconic bridge for them to learn a second language. English is one of the hardest languages to learn. That's a fact. If you ask me, it's French, but I'm serious. They say English is the very hardest language to learn. So they're making a humongous step to learn this language, to read it, you know, and write it and say it, okay? They don't want to look stupid in any way. They don't want to sound ghetto, okay? They want to be proper. They're very proper people, okay? Very, very proper people. So, please help them. They depend on you, okay? And you are their key, you know? So, you know, you have to really love what you do, you know? Book classes are reserved. Turn on your standby at 10 minutes, no earlier, if you have a book class. If somebody's actually booked the class, you turn on your standby. Otherwise, you're going to get, if you turn that standby on, you're going to get the on-call class, and they're dirt cheap. Yeah, it depends if that's what you want to do. There'll be music until the ding-dong doorbell, and then you let them in, and then you begin your class. You right-click the student video so that you can move it around on the screen. If the video is like covering the textbook, you can move that. Just right-click it and move that turkey. Okay? Before your class, I would make a big note. Hang it on your wall or whatever. And these are things you need to do right before your class begins. Make sure you're paying attention, okay? Take that 10 minutes to figure it out, okay? Turn your phone ringer off, okay? Go to the bathroom. Be awake. There's a guy that fell asleep during class and they closed his account, okay? Drink a beverage because you're talking. You're talking a lot. So you don't want to be coughing and get hoarse and be clearing your throat and do stuff like that. Drink, you know, some water, whatever it is you like to be drinking. Milk, a juice, you know, your Starbucks, whatever it is. Drink before you start your class. Use eye drops, especially if you have contacts, because it's really hard with the computer, and glasses help with contacts because it helps block the computer lights from drawing your contacts out. But do use eye drops. You have to remember, too much time on a computer is bad for your health. It will give you headaches. So, you know, booking back-to-back classes for hours is not good for you. Okay? You should have some kind of break there. Check your video and sound. They have a thing over here. This test my cam. Okay? And so you can start a trial. See? There you go. Okay. Now, there's notices. Read these things. Okay? Rules. Payment plan. Has all your stuff in there. Virtual background. You don't really need all that. Your teacher ranking. That one always blows me away. I think these first three are fake. No offense, anybody, but this guy's got a picture with headphones, and they don't allow you to have a picture with headphones. So, on your profile picture. So, I don't know. I kind of think these three are fake. Especially she's to the side, you know, and that's all the stuff they don't like. But this is the rankings, so you'll see yourself. There's me way down there. You can see your rankings at all times. Notices. Do read these. And a lot of times they'll send you copies of these in your email. Do read them. Okay? And, let's see. Let's go over this again. Before class, make yourself a big note on the wall or whatever so that you can check off these things before you start your classes. Turn the phone ringer off. Go to the bathroom. Be awake. Drink a beverage. Eye drops. Check your video and sound on the test my cam part over here. Test my cam. Okay, you plug your headset in and all that. You can see what your background's looking like before you start your class. Make sure it's acceptable. And smile. One of the most wonderful compliments to the Orientals is if you smile. And try not to have a fake smile, but smile. This is a good thing, okay? This is like you're scoring points all day long every time you smile, okay? If you have a problem student, do report it, okay? Do report it. Go to your inquiry page down here, okay? Way over there. Go to your inquiry page and click on that and report it, okay? That's your little email sending unit to corporate. And you want to report them before they report you because they'll give you a bad rating and stuff. But do that. And then have a form you can fill out if you get a bad rating or something. New teachers, they doll up your bio and offer free classes for your first 7 to 14 days, just for you. And then it's all on you. But that gets you started. That gets people deciding if they like you for an instructor, and they'll come back. They're repeats, you know, they're regulars. But they do doll your bio up a little bit, putting badges in there and stuff you don't even have. So don't be surprised you get something that like you didn't expect. Be prepared. Just roll with it. But I will tell you, the sudden classes, these on-call classes where you hit standby and just wait around and you don't have any scheduled classes and they jump on there and you accept them. You can get a bunch of those all the time, but they don't pay good. It's like $3 or $4 unless they have a bonus deal going. And then, you know, but the thing is that, you know, if you're scared, you want to just take a sudden class to start. It's worth that. It's worth all of that. That way you can get really prepared and really professional for your scheduled classes. Okay. You've got everything in here. Okay. You got guidelines, dashboard, message, students info, textbook, learning kit for teachers, Japanese phrases, translation, schedule, reservation, history, lesson review, account, test my cam, notice, rule 2, and payment, virtual background, teacher ranking, inquiry, and open space. Open space is a talking area where you discuss things. Okay, and let's see. You basically teach one student at a time, and you know, if it's for 2 students, it's going to list it on the student info. So if you got 2 little kids, both kids are listed on there. If it's, you know, only one person listed and there's 2 or 3 people sitting in the video, then they have a button you can click it on your screen to report that. Because we're not doing, you know, the 3-for-1 deal. Okay. You get paid for 1 student at a time. But don't say anything, just report it on clicking that button, you know. That's on your video. Do read your student's bio before your class so that you know. And that will be students info. Do read that students info and textbook before you start. So you can make sure they got a textbook entered and everything. Okay. You will teach little kids to the elderly. That's a fact. Orientals never age. They're amazing. Especially Filipinos. They're like little mermaids. They don't never get old. It is so strange. We need to know their secret. But most of the time, a lot of these Orientals look like little bitty kids. And please don't ask their age. Please don't. It's very insulting to the Japanese. So be very careful. You don't want to ask a lot of information. If they offer it, that's another thing, but don't you do it. Everything you need to know as a teacher is in their bio. And do let them teach you how to say their name correctly. Confirm that with them. And say your name is Shuto. And when they say Chuto, say, okay, do you prefer me to say it Shuto or Tuto? You know, do, you know, call them by the proper name. That's one of the most insulting things is when people don't say your name right. Okay? So if you're going to use their name, which is nice because it's very personalized in your class, do try to learn their name. And don't laugh or be funny about it. Be serious about it and polite. Okay? No matter how silly it sounds, in their country, it's a very respectable name. Where you're from, maybe it's not. I mean, to me, I'm not Southern, but, you know, when I hit the South, I've lived in a couple very Southern states. And, you know, one state's like, everybody's Bubba Joe. And then in the next state, it's all the girls have boys' names like Jonna and Jerry and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a different place. Okay? So you have to respect that. The third place, don't be mean. Just keep it to yourself. Okay. Remember, you know, no phones or iPads to do this job. You must have a PC, a laptop, or a notebook. So don't even go there. You lose. Make sure you have the proper equipment. Remember, it's tax deduction. It's supplies, you know, for work. So, you know, make sure that you have this. Okay? Pick a simple teacher name so they can say it. Don't pick out some big old mumbo jumbo caca. And you know, it's not Teacher Gaga. You know, it's Gaga. Okay? That's it. You know, make it simple. So they can say it. Because they're going to call you that. Okay? Repeatedly. So pick a simple name. I saw a girl in a vlog yesterday on YouTube, and she just started teaching, and she has the longest name that she picked. It's like Mary Ellen Sue or some junk. And that's just way too much stuff for them to be having to pronounce. Make it simple. Pick Mary, pick Sue, or pick Ellen. Make it simple. Okay? You get to pick any name you want as a teacher. It doesn't have to be your ID name. Okay? You can pick flower for your name. You know, you can pick wrench. Pick steel. You know, pick your name, but make it simple, please. Something they can say it. Okay? And if you can do it without an R or L, you're even better off. Always greet the student at the beginning of the class. Welcome to Native Camp, to your class. Let's check the title and textbook. And you repeat their title and textbook with the student, and then they'll confirm with you. Now remember, you're making friends in this job. This is a job where you make new friends from around the world, and you're going to learn so much. So you got 2 great pluses right there. You're making a new friend every day, and you're learning something. That's what keeps you alive. That's what keeps you going forward in life. So, you know, especially in the pandemic. You know, if you can't go out, you're afraid to go out, whatever, you're not getting corona through the computer, okay? So this is a super neat thing. But you're going to enjoy it, I'm telling you. Use my referral in your description box to sign up on Native Camp teaching website so that you get your, you know, free cash bonus and stuff. Do enter that. It'll be in the description box below here on this vlog. So let's teach, my friend, because you are gonna love it. And you know, make sure to you know, take notes here on this vlog or replay it as many times as you like. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, put them below. I'll see if I can help you with it. And enjoy teaching. All right? And whatever you do something kind for a stranger. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you.